guys, and welcome back to my channel. So a few weeks ago I got to thinking about how I love my 40-gallon breeder tank so much, and it stinks that it's no longer on the $1 sale at Petco. While you can still pick it up at Petco for about $50, for a lot of people that's still not really affordable, whereas the $40 was like barely affordable as it was. So I got to thinking about it, and I was like, if I were to rescue another hamster or adopt another hamster or even get another pet in general that required a 40-gallon or bigger, I would basically just be out of luck. I thought that I would show you guys a really easy, inexpensive DIY bin cage tutorial that you can do at home. These have been around for a really long time. In fact, I used them whenever I got my first hamsters. So the first two hamsters I ever got as a kid were actually two female Syrians, and we kept them in these massive plastic bin cages. So these things have been around for a really long time, and I thought that I would show you guys how to make a really inexpensive one today. Okay guys, so here I have a 90-quart Sterilite container from Walmart. So whenever you're picking out your bin cage, just remember it has to be over 450 square inches. That way your hamster has plenty of room to move around and not be stressed out. The 90-quart bin that I have here comes in at 570 square inches, so it is well over the minimum size for hamsters. Now the three things that you're going to need to make this bin cage are some chicken wire. Now depending on how much ventilation you want on your bin cage, that will determine how much chicken wire you're going to need. You're also going to need some duct tape to adhese the chicken wire to the bin. I just got this really cute little foresty duct tape that has foxes and trees and flowers and little hedgehogs on it. The next thing you're going to need is some scissors and also some sort of a power tool to cut the plastic out of this, strong enough to cut holes into the side or top of your container. You can see here I had my husband do it for me. He just used one of his saws. He outlined the area on the side of the tub, and then he cut the hole out for me. Now be very careful when doing this. The plastic is really sharp, as is the power tool, so you may want to have a parent or guardian help you. I of course had to have my husband help me because I am awful with power tools and I could not do this myself. So now if you want more ventilation for your bin cage instead of just the side, you can cut a huge square out of the top of the bin cage. I'm not going to do that in the video today because I'm not going to be using this for a hamster. This is just going to be used to store moose food and supplies. But if you want more ventilation, which is always a great option to keep your cage from smelling, that's a really great idea. And all you would do is just cut this entire top out, and then you would take your mesh and just tape it over just like we're going to do the sides. As you can see here, this is the size hole that I decided to cut in the side of my bin cage. You can make this bigger or smaller. Now if you have a hamster that's prone to bar chewing or maybe gets stressed out really easily and like scales the sides of a wire cage, you may not want to put your hole here. You can do it on the top, so that is definitely something to consider when cutting the holes in your bin cage. Now the first thing you're going to want to do after the hole is cut, you're going to want to take your wire and you're going to want to lay it over the hole on the outside of the bin cage. These corners are extremely sharp, so be very, very careful, or maybe have a parent help you. But you're not going to want to put this wire on the inside of the cage because you don't want to risk cutting the hamster, and you also don't want to put the duct tape on the inside either because you really don't want them to be chewing that. But you're also making sure to keep that duct tape on the outside too, so it looks better and it's safer for your hamster. So we're going to place the wire here, and then we're going to tape all of the edges on the outside of the container. Make sure that we clean and sanitize the inside of the cage before we put our hamster in. I'm going to use some diluted vinegar water, spray it all in really well, and then rinse it off. The fun part, we're going to go on and put in the bedding of choice. I suggest obviously a paper bedding. Once you have your bedding in there, then you can go on and add everything else. that is it for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching, and to all my new subscribers, welcome. Thank you so much for coming to my channel. Just remember, the key to a successful bin cage is not only the size, but the ventilation. You want to make sure that you can let that plastic breathe so that it doesn't get too stinky inside. Feel free to comment, like, and subscribe. Thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you guys in my next video. Be kind. Bye.